So then guys, we're going to be looking at the Soundcore Motion Boom today. This is the Soundcore Motion Plus. It's possibly my favourite speaker of all time in the sense of portability. According to Soundcore, this new one, the Soundcore Motion Boom, still has a pretty solid form factor, a little bit more drastic than the Motion Plus. So here is the Soundcore Motion Boom. To be honest, I was expecting the box to be significantly bigger than this. We're not here to talk about the size of it, because the size of Soundcore speakers definitely don't match up to the sound of these things. Soundcore have a very good track record for me at making some of the best sound quality I've ever heard for the money. Soundcore always do a decent unboxing experience, which is why I've always loved them. 40 kHz extended treble and bass, USB Type-C, fully waterproof for IPX7. There's a lot in here. Titanium driver and dual passive radiators, powerful stereo sound. If you haven't been enjoying Soundcore, then I don't know what rock you've been under. And if you're buying things like Beats, Sony's, Bose stuff and just other items, you're really overpaying when you can get sound quality sometimes that even sounds better from these guys. Let me pull this bad boy out. There's a cardboard piece there, a cardboard piece there. Just a single USB-C cable, which leads me to believe there is no aux for this bad boy, but that's fine. We don't need an aux cable for a speaker anymore, especially when Bluetooth 5.0 is just so good. And let's fling it over there. To be fair, we could do putting those back in, but it's going to be a mess. Obviously, you get the usual warranty notes. Don't want to break any other packaging because, you know, I love Soundcore. I've been looking at videos on this for a little while now, and you can really tell just how sweet this is in person. I don't know if it's as pretty as the Motion Plus, but you know, it's not about prettiness, it's about sound. And I can guarantee this will probably be quite a lot bassier and quite a lot heavier on the sound, so let's go. So then guys, today I'm going to be showing you two completely different songs on the Soundcore Motion Plus. Both are a very similar range. It's going to be in dead center of the table. Both of them have got my own custom equalizers on. So the Motion Plus is going to sound the best it possibly can, and the Motion Boom is going to sound the best it possibly can. Now, I hope you guys bear in mind that if you put this bass radiator at the back closer to a wall or a surface where it can boost the bass, you will get more bass from that speaker. So I'm going to play the first song and you guys can see what you think. Guys, here is the Soundcore Motion Boom sound test, and let's see what you guys think of this. So then guys, based on where you play this, obviously if you put it closer to a wall, it gets more bass, just like I explained with the Soundcore Motion Plus. So let me give you an idea of how this sounds. So this is it in the middle of the room. Still got lots of bass, and as you can see, the bass ports thud quite a lot. See what I mean, guys? So out here, still got bass. But over here, it sounds like a fucking subwoofer. It's absolutely amazing, this speaker, I love it. here is the Motion Plus right next to the Motion Boom, and there's a few instances where I would get the Motion Plus over the Motion Boom. Essentially the Motion Plus is £100, but generally drops to about £79 on occasions. I've seen this drop from £90 down to around 80 or 70, which makes it a very, very good deal. Even at retail price, I think the Motion Boom is a better speaker. This is smaller, it fits in backpacks better, and overall it's just a decent speaker, and if you put it against the wall, kind of like you do with the Motion Boom, you do get a lot more bass. Now, it's nowhere near as much as this, and of course this comes with a carry handle. Now, I have two Motion Pluses, one on the corner of my shelf and another one on the other corner of the shelf, because they're not overly bassy and they still give some great sound. This, on the other hand, on top of my shelf, produces far too much bass and just distracts the entire household. To be honest, you could buy this and turn the bass completely down in the equalizer, and it just sounds pretty similar to this. But the titanium drivers in the Motion Boom make up for the lack of tweeters, and of course, rather than have a subwoofer in the middle like the Motion Plus, it has two fairly sizable ones on the sides, and that means it separates the bass and it doesn't interfere with the actual sound of the speaker. Yeah, after using this for around 3 to 4 days now, I would easily say it's better than the Motion Plus in pretty much every instance, but there's still an instance where I'd still recommend getting these, and that is obviously for portability. That's not necessarily going to fit in a bag, but you can still carry it around and potentially put it in a suitcase. It's also very light. I would say the Motion Plus is around the same heft, actually. I would probably say maybe the Motion Plus has a bit of a heavier middle ground, but it's still fantastic, and I highly recommend picking really both of them up if you can, or get two of these or two of these and you'll be happy. So then guys, I just thought I'd very briefly make this, my hair's a mess, but I dropped this morning and I thought it would be in severe danger of breaking, but let's just put it this way. Now, this is a great test. I never drop my speakers, but I left it on the side because I don't really have a lot of room for this in my room at the minute. I'm trying to make some room or find a shelf to put it on. But like an idiot, I knocked it off, and it was quite a big drop, 3-4 foot drop maybe, and it bounced off the side and went everywhere. But one weird thing is I'm not finding any damage on it, and that's the weirdest thing about it. This thing can definitely survive a few drops and potentially bumps around, so that is really good news. I'm kind of glad that it dropped off, because now I have kind of proof that this thing is very sturdy. So then guys, thankfully today is one of those almost perfect conditions where I can actually record and the video doesn't look crappy. I'm going to be getting the Galaxy S21 Ultra when it comes out, because I currently have the Galaxy S20. After getting the Galaxy S20 and seeing the poor performance of the Exynos 990, I'm going to be getting the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra with the Exynos 2100, which is apparently better than the Snapdragon 888. But anyway, I think to compensate with a good phone, you need a good speaker, and this does it for the price, really. Like I say, I highly recommend it. I mean, you get the trans speaker for a big party with some people, right? You get this for a small party with quite a few people, and you're looking at like subwoofer level bass, especially in enclosed spaces, because you've got two bass ports. It really does pump out some serious bass. But there's also a few other Soundcore line speakers. I mean, you get Soundcore Mini 3, and that's great for, you know, bass and sound that, you know, you just don't really get from a small speaker, but Soundcore has managed to put that into a small speaker, and that might be a speaker you want to take on holiday for your hotel room, or, you know, somewhere chill, maybe next to the beach so you're not like being too loud. Or maybe you want to use the Soundcore 3, which is like a smaller speaker, one that reminds me a lot of the Anker A3143. I can never say it, but it's their premium Bluetooth stereo speaker, and basically the Soundcore 3 is like a really new adaptation of that speaker. Then you have the Soundcore Motion Plus. Now this is, you know, going up against the Beats Pill Plus, Bose Mini Link 2, the Bose Revolve. There's quite a few things that the Motion Plus just absolutely destroys, including a few JBL speakers, and this is a JBL Extreme Destroyer for the money. So I highly recommend you get this over pretty much any other like boombox speaker, unless you're going for something with way more watts, way more power. But for the money, this is where it's at. It's bang on. Absolutely incredible. Like I say, I can't recommend it more. Pick the thing up.